everybody, another video coming at you from Team McCluskey. I'm going to review the Tron arcade 1-up machine that I just got. I got it on Friday, right after Thanksgiving. So I've had it for 3 days. And first of all, if anybody from Arcade 1-up is watching, please make all your machines going forward this size. I love this size, and please keep the S panel in there. You know what I'm talking about if you're from working for Arcade 1-up. You know what the S panel is. Please keep the S panel in there, and please make all your machines this tall. I love it. I love the height. I love everything about the shape of this arcade. Could have done quality a little better, of course, but this is their best arcade, in my opinion, to date. And the main reason is because of the height and that little S panel that they put in behind the speakers. So, with that said, do I recommend this arcade machine? I do. For the price, no. To me, this machine more should be priced about $500, maybe $600. $700 is a little too high. But I do like the machine. And the main reason is, as you can see in the picture that I have over on the screen, look how much taller that is to the Pac-Man and the Mr. Doom arcades. So much taller. It looks like a beast in there, doesn't it? It's so much taller. I love it. And as you can see, the control deck is higher as well, which it makes more enjoyable to play this machine. There's no more crouching, no more bending over a little bit. You can stand straight up. I mean, I'm almost 6 foot tall. I can stand straight up. The deck is higher. It feels a lot better. It makes me feel like I'm actually in an arcade playing a real size arcade machine. So that's why I say to Arcade 1-up, please make all your machines this tall. And they made the riser a little taller. They made the side panels a little taller, which in turn made the controller deck higher. I think the controller deck is 4 inches taller than the Pac-Man and Mr. Doom beside it. It's 4 inches. That 4 inches makes a huge difference. And the riser is a little taller, and the riser is 3 inches taller. Like the Pac-Man and Mr. Doom, the risers are 13.5 inches high, and then the Tron is 16.5 in height. Just the riser itself. And the other thing, because of the S panel and everything else, between the marquee, bottom of the marquee right here, and the top of the control deck is 20.25 inches. The Mr. Doom and Pac-Man are 15.75 inches tall. So that's 4.5 inches between, like I said, the marquee, bottom of the marquee, and the control deck. So that 4.5 inches gives you a wider space to view the monitor, which the marquee does not come into play. If you ever played any of the Arcade 1-up ones, like the Pac-Man or the Mr. Doom over there, the marquee gets in the way. You can't see the top of the screen. So you got to bend down a little bit to play so you can see the top of the screen. The Tron one, you do not have to bend over. The control deck's in a nice height, and the marquee is not even into play anymore. Okay, there's the side panels. Like I said, the side panels are taller than the other ones. They added that little, as you can see right here, this line right here, that they separated the side panels to make them taller, which I really like it. I mean, you can see it. In real life, you really can't see it that well, only if you have light. But if your lights are off and you have a black light off or on, or if you had no lights on, you can't see it because it's all black. It shows up in the video better than it does in real life. But if you don't like that, you can always put they make tape, seaming tape that you could cover that up with. There's ways to cover that up in the screw holes. If you don't like seeing the screws, they do make caps for the screws so you can't see the screws. So there's ways to cover that stuff up. The side panel is taller. They cut them in, made it into two, so they can make them taller and keep the same size box. So I understand why they did that, but I'm glad they did it because they made the machine taller. And then there's a riser. I don't know if you can tell or not, but here's the top of the riser. And then there's this one here. You can't quite tell, but you can see the difference a little bit there between the risers, the two risers. Like I said, the risers, 3 inches difference. There's a marquee. Marquee looks awesome. Only thing that kind of makes me mad about the marquee, that doesn't make me mad, but one thing they could have done with the marquee is in a real Tron over here, they have Bali and Midway on the real marquee. I'm not sure why they didn't add the Bali and Midway to the marquee. I'm not real sure. I wish they would have, because that would have made it authentic if they put Bali and Midway on there, but they did not. It's not that big of a deal for me. You can always get stickers. You can go any of the Etsy or any of the arcade modification websites and probably get stickers that say Bali and Midway. So that's an easy fix. And you see you got the black light up top. You can see it on the screen there, but it really doesn't affect. I don't really see that when I play. And there's a control deck. The control looks awesome with the black light. I think the control deck looks better than the original control deck, and even the side art inside, because you can see the side art over here is lit up by the black light as well. I think this actually lights up better than the original Tron. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I played a real one, but to me, the colors are so bright, they almost look like they're lit up, but it's just from the black light, but it looks great. The spinner's great. Spinner, as you'll see later, is actually made out of some kind of metal. It's spring-loaded like the original. It has some weight to it, which is nice, like the original had. And then you got the light up front. And then I wish you could see there, I got a little scratch on there. I'm thinking about putting something in front. If I put a fake coin doors or art, I'm going to put something on that front panel so it'll be covered up. And then there's the riser. It says Disco Tron. And then there's the other side, which is identical. The only other thing I wish on the side art here is I wish they would have went down all the way to the riser, almost to the riser. I understand why they did what they did with the side art, because in original, the side art didn't go all the way down to the floor. It went like halfway. It wouldn't, yeah, about halfway, because yes, the art would go down about here on the real one, because it was halfway at the coin doors. It was like halfway down, in the coin door in the front. So it really should have went down at least this far where my cursor is. That's where the side art should have went. So, and they brought it way up here. As you can see, it's probably just below the control deck. So I wish that would have came down a little bit further. Get back where it was. Okay, this is where I'm showing. This is the S panel that they added. It's behind the speakers. I'm pointing at it. But yeah, that's the S panel. And that S panel is awesome. The reason why the S panel is there is it tilted the monitor down further. You can see behind me, you can't really see that well, but like the Mr. Dude behind me, you got the speaker, and then you got the monitor right behind it. And that's one reason why the marquee gets in the way. Now, if they would have put the S panel on that Mr. Dude behind me, that would have tilted the monitor down some. And so you would have a better view at it because it would be down further. So your eyes would be looking down a little bit further, not up like it is now. It would be down a little bit further. That's the other reason why I said keep the S panel in all your machines going forward, because that's awesome. It lays the monitor down a little bit more. So it takes the marquee completely out of the way of your viewing. And I just show, but see how you can somewhat see how the monitor is tilted down. It's tilted back a little further. Like in my Mr. Dude behind me, it's almost straight up and down, with just a little slant to it. There's the headphones, and then on and off the volume. 1 player, 2 player. The headphone thing is awesome that they added that. The headphone jack. I thought that was a nice touch. There's a live button. There's the other, black light. You can see that the black light really, the ink really responds to that black light. It's freaking awesome. I wish I'd pan away a little bit further. And I was just showing you the S panel from the top. It's not a really good picture. I should have pulled back a little bit further. But there's that S panel I was talking about. As you see, it's right behind the speaker. That's the speaker right up there. There's the speakers, yeah. So the S panel, it's 10 inches long, that S panel. There's a little better shot of the S panel right there. Get back to that spot again. Yeah, okay, that's a good shot. So you got the speaker right here where my cursor is, and then you got this S panel. And like I said, this S panel is 10 inches long. That's it, 10 inches. But it just makes everything better. It brings that monitor down, and bring that monitor down makes it more like an arcade feel. I'll show you a picture. See, here's a Pac-Man. See how slanted the monitor is on this Pac-Man? That's how all arcade machines were. And see how much space you got on the side panel there? And it's all because that monitor is laying down. Now, this Tron's not laying down as far as that, but it's okay. The 10 inches, man, it makes a huge difference. It makes it feel more like an arcade. That's it. A 10-inch panel they added. Keep it. Keep it, Arcade 1-Up. Keep that 10-inch panel. You know, it just makes the whole experience better. And all it is because of a 10-inch panel. And those brown pieces of wood there, that holds there's a cover that goes over top of that. So you can't see that S panel. But see how, like on the Mr. Do over there, how the monitor's almost straight up? Yeah, you can really see there the angle. It's all because of that 10-inch S panel. That's it. I keep bringing it up, man, because I think that S panel is important. It just makes the viewing experience, playing experience so much better with that 10-inch panel. That's it. I mean, look, you can clearly see that Mr. Do, straight up and down almost. There is a little angle to it, but not much. And then the Tron, man, you can see the angle on there. And what that does is, the S panel, like I said, brings the monitor down. And what it does is it makes the whole thing, as you can see on this picture, you can see it makes it like a box, right? That's what arcade experiences were back in the day. Every machine you played on was like a box. You felt like you were in a tunnel. You're up close. It feels like you're in a tunnel. You feel like you're by yourself, even though there's people beside you playing games right next to you. The box feel gave you like you're by yourself, like you're kind of in a box, with nobody around. It blocks out the sounds from machines around you a little bit, not all the way, but it does block out some. That was part of the feel of a real arcade back in the day. Was you felt like you're by yourself, like blinders on you. That box feel. And that S panel gives you more of side panels. See the side panel right here? Look how long that is compared to this one over here on the Mr. Do and the Pac-Man. It's inches. So you don't get that box feel because the monitor is, so close to you. And so you don't have side panels like this Tron does. That's why I said that S panel to me is so important, because it brings the monitor down, but it gives you that box feel. Puts blinders on you so you feel like you're by yourself playing a game, even though there could be, 20 people around you. That's the arcade experience, right? That was experience. You felt like you're by yourself. And that S panel, just that 10 inches, it gives you that box feel. When I played that Tron game, when I first played it, when I got it on Friday, I was like, this is the experience that I am looking for. This is the experience that I had when I was in an arcade. This is the feel. The control deck's up where it's supposed to be. You got the box feel. And it's all because of the S panel. So that's why I say, keep the S panel in all your machines, because it brings that monitor down and brings the box feel. I know I spent a lot of time on that, but man, that's the whole experience. That's the whole experience. In the joystick, I love the spinner. The spinner feels real, as you see it down there. It looks and feels like the real Tron one. And you can hear the weight, right, on a spinner. You can tell it's metal. Spring loaded like it's supposed to be. It has weight to it like it's supposed to be because it's made out of some kind of metal. The joystick could be better. Be honest, that could be a little better. As you can hear on the button's solid. It has a nice click feel to it, but the joystick feels a little cheap. But you can always upgrade it. There are ones out there in the market. And then the bonus feature here was this tube-like thing. And the real Tron arcade had the tube, because that's where the fluorescent light came from in original. They had a fluorescent bulb in this tube that ran, on the bottom of the monitor. And I didn't know that thing lit up. I saw it in pictures online, and I saw it on there. I'm like, oh, that's cool. They put that round thing in there to make it look like the real thing. I did not know it were lit up, and it lights up and changes colors. So that's pretty cool. That was a bonus feature I did not know they did. So that was kind of awesome. As you can see, it changed colors there. It even has one where it rotates through the colors by itself. And if you want to have the real thing, there is a purple mode on there, like right there. I think that's the purple, and that really looks like the real thing, even though it doesn't really light up anything. But I thought that was a nice, cool little effect. Good job, Arcade One Up, on that part. And then there's the button right there to turn bulb-looking thing on and off, and to change the colors. If you got the Tron machine, and you don't know how to turn on that bulb on the bottom of the monitor, that's the button. There's the button right there. It looks like the screw. I mean, there's a screw right next to it. There's a screw right there. A lot of people might think this is just a screw and not the button to turn it on and off and change colors. But yeah, that is the button, not a screw. It's hard to see because it's black. I mean, I understand why they made it black, but some people might not know exactly where it's at. But that is the button right there. That's why I pointed that out. And there's the headphone jack over there again. I thought that was a nice little feature too that they had. I think they do this to all their new cabinets now, to have that headphone jack, which is nice because if you want to play it and somebody's sleeping around you, you can always put the headphones in. And plus it gives you a different experience too. Overall, I like it. I truly like this. I mean, do I recommend it to anybody? Yes, I would. If you're not a Tron fan, I still recommend it because to me, to date, this is the best arcade cabinet that Arcade One Up has made. For many reasons. It's taller. The controller deck's taller. They added the S panel, so it brings the monitor to an angle, so it gives you that box feel. Even if you don't like Tron, buy this one and mod it. For Arcade One, at least, this is the machine that you'd want to mod. Just because of the height. Who knows if they're going to make another one like this one. I wish they make all their cabinets going forward like this with that S panel in it. Because it gives you that box feel that you want. I mean, you don't even see the marquee when you're playing. To me, it's the perfect machine to modify if you don't like Tron, just because of like I said, all the stuff I've said about it. At $700, I wish it was lower. If you don't want to pay $700, if you wait after the holidays, I imagine some of these stores will still have some in stock where they might mark it down. I know Big Blue, Walmart, and I think Best Buy just knocked Big Blue down by $100. So if you want Big Blue, it is $100 off now at Best Buy and Walmart. So they might do the same thing with Tron, but I don't think they'll do it with Tron until after the holidays. So keep an eye out on that. And always check out Facebook Marketplace or eBay, because some people might get this and say, okay, I played it enough, I don't want it anymore, so I'm looking to sell it. So, and there's two cons to this machine, and they're really not that big of a deal. They did not use real true T-molding in this cabinet. I'm not sure why. The Mr. Do machine I have was a Street Fighter 2 Legacy Edition cabinet, and it had true T-molding, which had a slit in the wood, and the moldings pushed down into the wood like true T-molding. For some reason, this Tron, they use molding, but it's not T-molding. It's taped or glued on there. That's the only disappointment I have on that, is they didn't use T-molding, and they didn't put the picture above the monitor. There's only a 2-inch border around the monitor up on top where that little picture would go. They still could have put it up there, or this bulb thing I was showing you on the bottom, that tube-looking thing on the bottom of the monitor where it lights up. They could have put that on the control deck and still made it look like the real thing. If they would have put it on the control deck, they could have made the border around the monitor wider, so you could have got a little bigger picture in there. I think that bulb thing's probably maybe 2 inches, but that would give you 4 inches now to put that picture on there. So 4 inches would make that picture look pretty cool. It was the MCP Translight. And they could have made it translucent like the original one, because the light down here for this light up panel on the bottom is inside the cabinet. If they wouldn't have put a back on there, if they would have made it like a see-through plastic like they did in the front, that would have gave enough light to go up and hit that MCP Translight picture on top of the monitor. So that's the only two things, well, three things really. The third one is, like I said, the side art should go down a little bit further. So those are my three cons on this machine. Is no true T-molding, no picture above the monitor, and then the side art should have went down a little bit further. That's nitpicking it. Everything else I really like. But overall, I do recommend it. If you're not, like I said, if you're not a Tron fan, I recommend it to buy it and mod it, because, like I said, who knows if they're going to make the size again. I wish all theirs going forward would go be the size. I mean, look at between the Pac-Man and my Mr. Do, man. They look like a beast in there. It's so much taller. But that little extra height they added, making the side panels and the riser taller, it brought the control deck up by 4.5 inches. Feels good. It feels like the right height now. And like I said, and then adding the S panel, I keep bringing up, brings the monitor down, gives you that box feel like a real arcade. I hope going forward, Arcade 1-Up makes them all like this. They don't have to be the same shape. It just has to have the S panel. That's it. The S panel, to me, is so important. Just that 10-inch, man. Makes a huge difference. Hope, please, Arcade 1-Up. Add S panel to all your cabinets going forward, please. I wish they would do that when they re-release Star Wars, man, because it would give you that box feel on the Star Wars like it did in the real arcade. So there's my take. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know if you're going to buy it. Let me know if there's a cabinet you'd like to see Arcade 1-Up come out with next year in 2022. Hopefully hit that thumbs up for me. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, turn the bell on. And until next time, I will see ya.